It's great to have you back in today. Absolutely great to have you back in. Kevin Durant and our Chris Broussard, who will join me in 10 minutes, have been fighting all week. It's crazy. They have a lot of stuff back and forth. So Chris was on the radio, and Chris was on, TV here on FS1. He was talking about stuff about, what happens if the Warriors win a couple of rings without Kevin Durant. Is it his worst nightmare? And then Kevin Durant, who likes social media, was apparently watching FS1. Obviously he was. And he went to Twitter and he goes, slight exaggeration, buddy, in my worst nightmare. And then, Kevin Durant also pushed back when Chris Broussard talked about, that they had talked a lot texting on the phone, and then Kevin Durant came out and said, cap, which I'm told means lie. You don't have my number, man. Chris Broussard said, DM, Twitter, DM, text, all the same, dude. Don't act like I'm lying. All right, so my takeaway on this is, first of all, I don't care what the device was. If you're texting, DMing, Facebooking, Instagramming, Snapchatting anybody 50 times, that's a trusting relationship. Most of the time people DM me, I can't get out of it fast enough. I'm not into it, right? I'm very few people I would trust texting or talking to 50 times. You never know if they're going to take those words like this, throw them back at you. So I just stay off the phone as much as I can in terms of DM and text, even with friends. I'm a yes-no guy, right? And so... But this is a technicality. This is, it's not my text, it's my DM. If you are in a relationship with somebody 50 times, I don't care what the device is, okay? This is KD deflecting. This is like when the girlfriend grabs the boyfriend's phone and goes, oh, who's she? And the boyfriend's like, why are you looking at my phone? He's deflecting. He didn't want to talk about why he was talking to another girl on the phone. This is deflecting by KD. Obviously, Broussard and he have done a lot of talking here, and Chris Broussard actually answered this. Play the tape.
Let me start this off by saying I like and respect Kevin Durant and am not trying to continue a Twitter beef with him. However, he did challenge my credibility, and I must respond to that. In my telephone, I have more than 60 direct messages from Kevin Durant on Twitter and Instagram since February of 2018. These were conversations initiated by KD himself. We talked about a lot of the things I talked about on Undisputed, and some of these conversations lasted more than 5 hours. If you want to argue over the difference between a text and a DM in the year 2019, go right ahead. But to me, it's all the same thing. For those of you who want me to publish these DMs, it's not going to happen. Out of respect for KD, those texts will remain private. Finally, after all of this, I will continue to love, respect, and pray for Kevin Durant and objectively analyze him as a basketball player.
So let me go back to this with Kevin Durant. I feel jealous because I love Kevin Durant. I talk about it all the time. And I said this year I thought he was better than LeBron. I'm the only guy apparently he doesn't DM. So I'm feeling kind of hurt on this. I would like a little love from Kevin Durant. I moved to your side about 4 months ago. I haven't had one direct message sent to me. But here's the second thing. KD's not playing basketball. KD's not married. KD doesn't have kids. KD has got a lot of time on his hands. And I've even told people I work with, marriage, kids, get you off the phone. You just got more responsibilities. So single guys, no kid guy, not playing guy. Some of this is Kevin's got more spare time on his hands, okay? He goes treatments to his phone to his treatments. But here's the thing about Kevin, and I like him a lot. What Twitter really is, and a psychologist will tell you this, it's just projecting and seeking validation. That's what social media is. Look, my food is perfect. My life is perfect. I'm beautiful. Nobody puts a bad day on Twitter. Nobody puts a bad day on Instagram. Nobody puts a bad day. It's a seeking validation and projecting tool. Now, all of us do that. I've done it. You've done it. It's not over time, though, healthy. And this is my knock on KD. Is he going to the Knicks potentially because they have much better management? No. Is he going to the Knicks because they can pay him more? No. I will always support professional athletes if they feel they're underpaid, if they're seeking more money, if they're seeking better bosses, if they're seeking better teammates. I will support every pro athlete that's ever lived. But if you're going somewhere that has less money and less players and less history and less ownership and less, Isn't that Twitter seeking validation? Like, this is deflecting and projecting and validation, and it's the stuff that worries me that KD is going to make a terrible choice and leave the smartest basketball system in America. This would be like Duncan leaving the Spurs. When you are lucky enough to be around in basketball, Magic Johnson inherited Kareem Smart and Jerry West Smart and James Worthy and the Buss family, and it was just Pat Riley, and you don't leave that. And Tim Duncan, he inherits David Robinson and then Greg Popovich, and then they get Tony Parker. You don't leave that. Man, when you join a family as smart as the Warriors, with such good guys, it's so funny. We think of Draymond as the crazy guy. Yeah, the more I watch the Warriors, he's the glue of the family, and he's the crazy guy. And my old worry about Kevin Durant isn't this stuff. It's that he'll seek validation. Don't. Seek bosses. Seek teammates. Seek smart. Seek some money. I get money. But Kevin, please, give leaving Golden State a second, third, fourth, and fifth thought. Enjoy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
So, John Beilein left Michigan earlier this month to take the head coaching job with the Cavs.
Shocked
and now
us.
The university has found his replacement. Yes, Michigan has agreed to a 5-year deal with former Miami Heat assistant coach Juwan Howard.
Yeah.
Two people who are very excited about this hire are Juwan Howard's former teammates with the Heat, Wade and LeBron James. D-Wade tweeted, "Talk to me nice, say it is so. My guy deserves this opportunity. This will only be right." Then LeBron responded to Wade's tweet with his own, saying, "Man, what? Absolutely the right choice, and I hope it becomes a done deal ASAP. One of my favorite people I've ever met at the age of 16 and been around since then." This is a really big deal for Michigan. Obviously, Juwan Howard was a part of Fab Five and Michigan guy through and through, incredible NBA veteran, and he's been put in years with a very solid organization in the Miami Heat. And within the Miami Heat, had a very important role in player relations to the coaching staff and to the front office. So this is a no-brainer hire for Michigan, especially replacing Beilein, who established a winning and incredible culture there. So I love this. And also, more importantly, Dwayne Wade and LeBron James have young sons who will be heading off to college very soon. So
what I like about Juwan Howard, dude has put in the time.
Yes.
I got nothing against Jason Kidd, but I'm a starting point guard. Tomorrow I'm a coach. It feels like you're kind of skipping a step. Juwan has put in step. I think it's great. And I'm not anti-player being coach, but when I see guys retire and an hour later they're in a play, like, coaching's hard, and he'll have to figure out some recruiting stuff. But this is a guy, I called somebody last night, dude has put in the time.
He's absolutely putting the time on the coaching end of it, but the recruiting thing to me is not that is very overblown. I think the whole recruiting environment has evolved tremendously over the last 20 years. This whole idea that you have to go in there with your suit on and talk to the parents and tell them about a good education or whatever the idea of recruiting is, doesn't exist anymore. Look at Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway has the #1 recruiting class in the country at Memphis, and everyone thought that hire was ridiculous with Penny Hardaway. He's proved everyone wrong. I mean, coaching is obviously a big part of this, but recruiting is #1 in college. You have to get the kids there. And he's getting kids from all over the country to go to Memphis. One, obviously, because he's Penny Hardaway, but you have to be able to relate to kids, and you have to have a hand in the grassroots culture of basketball, AAU, and the grassroots circuit. And that is a big deal in college basketball now. So hiring former players in this position is a big deal.
Chris Webber will join us top of next hour. So C-Web, part of the amazing Fab Five. And if you're 20 years old, you didn't see the Fab Five, the only way I can explain it, it was... this past Duke team that had a bunch of guys, it was like that, but they were culturally different. And the baggy shorts, it was the most talked about college basketball team maybe ever. I mean, in my lifetime, I'm not saying the best, I'm saying the most
No, they were incredibly
culture-altering college basketball program, Fab Five. And the relationships with all those guys in Michigan have been spotty since then.
Yes, but their reputation lives on, and they were incredibly important to the culture. So the NBA's all-defensive teams were announced yesterday. Rudy Gobert, Paul George, Giannis, Marcus Smart, and Eric Bledsoe were selected for the first team.
Yeah.
But there was one very interesting player who received some votes. James Harden got 2 votes, and they were both for first team.
Was that Daryl Morey voting twice?
I don't know. It's very interesting. When you look at the list, though, I mean, obviously,